Welcome in, everybody, to the Chrysler Center here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. The score is Michigan 14, Akron 0. We've been dealing with some technical difficulties. The Akron Zips are at the line for the first time this afternoon. Shooting the free throw is Lane Farrell. The first one is in and out, no good. And her second attempt is good. So we've gotten the all clear from our engineer back wherever he's at. I'm assuming on campus, Charlie Brigham. So thank you, Charlie, for checking us out in the audio. So we're back. Michigan leads it 14-1 over Akron. Naz Hillman dumps inside to Kaiser for her first points of the day. Wolverines lead it 16-1. I'm Zach Linfield. To my left is Zach Linder, calling our first game together this year. Annika Corcoran for Akron's got the basketball. She controls it from right to left for the Zips. A crossover dribble for Kendall Miller, drives inside the lane on Kaiser. She dumps it back out. Here's a three-point try for Farrell, and it hits off the right side of the rim. Another rebound for Emily Kaiser. She gives way to Roush at the block M. Maddie Nolan, who was off the bench today. Layla Felia got the start in 5 points almost immediately. Nolan's trapped. She dumps it to Kaiser, and it's up and in. That was a great find for Maddie Nolan.
Yeah, Michigan's now 8 for 9 on field goals as they've been able to just easily get to the basket and have those easy layups and other short shots.
You think they took that Louisville loss to heart the other day? It's 18-1, Michigan over the Zips, and here's a turnover. Straight over the head of Kendall Miller. The pass from Rachel Martindale went out of bounds.
Yeah, it's now 6 turnovers for Akron, and they're 0 for 7 from the field, and 6 of those are three-pointers. They're only shopping 1 free throw.
Elise Stuck and Layla Felia come onto the court for the Wolverines. Stuck gives way to Felia, who's defended by Miller. She dribbles into the lane with the right hand, goes around a pick, and it's no good. The rebound goes to Reagan Bass, getting her 6th start of the season for the Zips. Farrell's got it, kicks to Bass at the Big Ten logo. Miller in the corner. She drives on Stuck. She gets to the post and kicks it back out, and this is a turnover as long as Leah Brown can get to it, and she throws it right back to Akron. And it's a scrum on the court right now as both teams going left and right. And this will be a foul on Kaiser as Rachel Martindale went right around her with the left hand after the pump fake. 18-1 Michigan, 2:25 to go in the first quarter.
So that is Michigan's 3rd foul of the so far this game. Akron does not have any, but Michigan's still 8 for 10 from the field. Akron 0 for 7. And you saw right there, even when they try to get up under the basket, Michigan's defense is just too strong in the interior, and they don't have that opportunity.
Zakia Rashid and Neitzel check in for the first time for Akron. Sisters on the team, Colleen and Molly. Molly's on the court right now, and she is guilty of the travel. 18-1 Michigan. They have 7 points off Akron turnovers so far. You may think that's a little slim considering Akron's already turned the ball over 8 times to the Wolverines. Controlling it now is Brown at the Michigan logo. She dribbles to the right wing. Maddie Nolan dumps it inside to Kaiser at the near post. She goes up with the left hand, and it's pure. Michigan leads it 20-1. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Stuck with the basketball right now is Rashid. She gives way to Miller, who's at the right wing. Defended by Felia. Back to Rashid. Brown is her defender. Back to Miller. And Dawson now at the right wing being defended by Nolan. Dribbling with the left hand and controlling traffic. She dumps it inside. This is Neitzel, and that's the first field goal of the game for Akron with 1:34 to go in the first. Feely at the left wing, being defended by Miller. Nolan, great ball movement. Here's Seedorf for a 3. It's no good. Excuse me, that's Kaiser that took the 3-point try. The foul goes against Leah Brown, who is over the back of her defender, Dawson.
So that is Michigan's 4th foul now. That's about the only thing that you don't really like that we've seen from them so far, as they're otherwise dominating the game, 9 for 12 from the field with a 20-3 lead late in the first.
Zakia Rashid kicks to the corner. It's Neitzel. She tries to get it to the post where Dawson was standing, and she'll be helped up by Maddie Nolan after the ball went out of bounds. It's Michigan's basketball They lead it by 17 with just over a minute to go in the first quarter.
And that's now 9 turnovers that Michigan's defense has forced.
Elise Stuck. Go ahead, Zach.
And then they've also gotten 6 defensive rebounds to go along with that.
Stuck, Felia, Hillman, Nolan, and Roush in the game for the Wolverines. Hillman kicks to the near corner for Nolan. That's a 3. It's good. Man, Maddie Nolan knows how to make those 3-point shots. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. Michigan by 20. Driving the lane, Martindale goes into Stuck. It's no good, and it'll be called as a block. And she's down on the court right now, being helped up by her Zip teammates. And she'll need a second. Felia's got 5. Hillman's got 4. Emily Kaiser leading the way with 6. She's also leading the team in rebounds right now with 3. Oz Hillman has 3 assists. Rachel Martindale's first from the line is good. 23-4, Michigan lead. The second free throw for Martindale. Off the back of the rim and no good. Nolan with the rebound. On the season, shoots 75%. Hillman at the post. That's a nice pass and a nice shot by Naz Hillman. 25-4 Michigan. With the basketball right now for Akron, Zakia Rashid. Defended by Roush. They screen, and the ball goes over to Dawson. Flips it to Miller at the top of the key. Dribbling with their right hand to the right wing. Extended, and it'll go out of bounds. Danielle Roush tried to take it away from Rachel Martindale, and it'll remain Akron basketball. Miller's inbound goes to Rashid. 9 seconds on the play clock, 10 seconds on the game clock. This is probably the last shot. Neitzel puts up a shot from the elbow, and it's no good. Hillman with the rebound. They got to go fast. 2 seconds to go in the quarter. Puts up a long 3 for Roush, and it's nowhere near the rim. So Michigan ends the first quarter leading it 25-4 over Akron. And Zach, I said this before we had the technical difficulties. I think they took that Louisville loss to heart.
Yeah, I mean, completely different team from the team that in Louisville just completely lost control of the game in the first half. I mean, outscored 15-9 first quarter, 24-6 second quarter. So that was a 39-15 Louisville lead at halftime, which effectively ended the game. Now Michigan's trying to put this game away early, and they've done a pretty good job in that effort, getting out to a 21-point lead just in the first quarter.
Well, Michigan in the second quarter against Louisville 3 days ago, they were outscored 24-6 against the Cardinals in that quarter. And, well, that was really the downfall because Michigan outscored the Cardinals in the second half, albeit by 2 points. But the Wolverines were up 7-2 to begin that game. And then it went south for Michigan very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, they really just didn't give, as you mentioned, I mean, even late in the first quarter, then that second quarter completely eliminated any chance they had of winning that game. So that's obviously what they can't afford to have happen, especially coming up conference games against Wisconsin and Minnesota in the next week. But they definitely look like a team today that's capable of winning those conference games.
Well, again, we'd like to welcome you into the Chrysler Center. I'm Zach Linfield here with Zach Linder, WCBN. Had some technical difficulties about halfway through the first quarter. And, well, apparently you couldn't hear us, and that's not a great thing. We've got a broadcast, but Michigan leads it 25-4. Looking for some revenge on the poor Akron Zips right now, who are down 21 points after the first quarter. Akron's going to need a big-time comeback and maybe a more aggressive effort, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think they're, as you mentioned earlier, we've seen a more aggressive defense from Michigan's defense, and Akron might need to pull something out of Michigan's playbook because at this point they need to make things happen. Michigan's not just going to give them the game. They're going to have to fight and earn it and have things go their way.
Akron's first field goal came at 1 minute 33 seconds to go in that first quarter. Rachel Martindale has 1. Neitzel has 2. And as we mentioned, that is the only field goal that Akron made. 1 for 9 from the field. Zakia Rashid will begin with the basketball to begin the second quarter. She's defended by Roush. Now Hillman will tightly defend Neitzel, who has the lone field goal. Miller goes around a screen, and that'll be an offensive foul.
So there's Akron's first foul of the game.
And that's on Neitzel. So she tried to screen Naz Hillman, maybe got a bit too aggressive with it, and it's Michigan basketball. Felia, who got her first career start today, dribbling against Rashid. She's at the top of the key, now kicks to the right wing extended for Sidor. Sidor to Felia. She'll drive on Miller. And now Elise Stuck at the post will be called for an offensive foul. Falling hard to the floor was Jordan Dawson. That'll be the second on Elise Stuck.
And I think you see the ball movement there in the front court for Michigan. Of course, ends with the foul, but that's what's allowed them to set up so many shots.
Rashid's really been controlling the offense for Akron in the second half of the first quarter, and now for the entirety of the second quarter as well. Miller drives on Stuck. A right hook is in, and that's the second field goal of the game for Akron. 25-6 Michigan. Michigan's got the basketball now. Felia, who moves left to right, inside to Hillman, who's almost triple teamed. And now Roush to Felia. There's another whistle. It'll be a 3-second violation that goes against Naz Hillman. And you and I both know also well that big leads can disappear very quickly if you're not careful with fouls and mistakes, especially on the offensive end.
Yeah, I mean, we saw something similar with the men's team yesterday. It wasn't this large of a lead, but they did see a lead that they had halfway through the first half kind of disappear.
Dawson is double teamed at the top of the key, and she traveled with it. She tried to garnish her pivot foot, and it looked like the right foot of Dawson just skid a little bit at the far end. Michigan goes quick into their offense. Feely at the right wing. Top of the key. Kaiser, nice pass inside Hillman, and it's good. Dawson goes the other way. It's a pull-up three from long distance, in and out, and there will be a foul on the far end. It'll go against Hillman. She was beat for position by Lanesia Brewer. Second team foul of the quarter for the Wolverines. And the first against Naz Hillman, who leads the way with 8. Zips with the basketball. Brewer, Martindale for 3 now, and it's in. Martindale had 5 of the 7 3-pointers for Akron against Detroit Mercy a couple of days ago. Michigan on the offensive end. Hillman sees a triple team, and now will be a jump ball. And Michigan will retain possession. Naz Hillman has gotten double and triple teamed on the post, and yet she still has 8 points.
And I think that is the aggressive defense we talked about that Akron has to have. It just really hasn't worked for them so far.
Kaiser inside Hillman, you betcha. That's been there all day. The kick out to the top of the key. Kaiser inside to Hillman, and she's got double digits. Brewer pulls up in front of Hillman. The shot goes off the front of the rim. Offensive rebound for Bass. That one's no good, and she gets her own rebound again. And there's a whistle on the far end. Possession will retain with Akron. 7:44 to go in the second quarter. Maddie Nolan checks back in for the Wolverines. She'll sit down Michelle Sidor. Annika Corcoran also in to the ball game. Zakia Rashid will take a nice break. Brewer gets the basketball on the inbound. Dawson goes around a screen, dumps it inside, and the ball will go out of bounds. It was intended for Reagan Bass on the pick and roll, and it slipped right through the Michigan defenders and past the outstretched fingertips of Bass. Michigan with the basketball at the midcourt logo. Kaiser to Felia, who dribbles hard with the right hand inside the lane, puts up a shot, it's no good, but she gets the whistle. She'll go to the line.
First free throw opportunities for Michigan. Of course, they have been 13 for 16 from the field. Akron only 3 for 14, and then Akron's also turned the ball over 12 times compared to Michigan's 7.
Felia shoots 89% on the season, and the first one goes straight in. Michigan leads 30-9 over Akron. And here's the second one from Felia. 5 dribbles with the right hand, puts it up, and the righty gets her second one to go. You can count them both. 31-9, Michigan leads. Going the other way for Akron is Corcoran, the transfer sophomore from Painesville, Ohio. Dawson checks back into the game. Corcoran at the left wing gets a long pass, and now Bass will pull up from about 18 feet. It's no good, and Dawson's going to be called for a foul at the far end after Roush took it away from her on the rebound.
I mean, you saw there Akron trying to force a takeaway, which I think is something they need to do, but of course they end up getting the foul, so they aren't able to get the ball.
22-point spread for the Wolverines. Roush to Nolan, wearing a brace on her left knee. Gets a screen from Kaiser. A long pass, Nolan inside. Kaiser up and in, and count it for the foul. Kaiser will go to the line for a 3-point play.
Kaiser now is second on the team with 8 points. Hillman leads the team with 10, and Felia has 7.
Michigan gets Leah Brown into the game, along with Ari Wiggins, her first appearance in this ball game. Emily Kaiser goes to the line for Michigan. You can count all 3 of them. Michigan leads 34-9 over Akron. Corcoran gets a welcoming surprise that Ari Wiggins is full court pressing, a one-woman press. Lanesia Brewer against Hillman, and now Martindale will go into Nolan. She finds her way to the right wing and now the far corner, kicks inside Bass, and it's turned over. Hillman with it racing the other way. She's inside the lane, puts it up, and that shot's no good, but Leah Brown the rebound and in. An unorthodox shot by Naz Hillman, typically a little more controlled even for a forward center. She can play all the positions apparently. Michigan leads 36-9. Here's a long pass. Martindale in the corner for Brewer. She drives to the right hand, and the shot goes in. Looked like it may toilet bowl out, but it found its way through the nylon. 6 minutes to go. Michigan leads by 25. Leah Brown didn't get the start today. She kicks inside Hillman. Maddie Nolan, a catch-and-shoot 3. It's right in. Maddie Nolan wears number 3 for a reason. 39-11 Michigan. This has been domination from start to finish so far for the Wolverines, and we're not even halfway through the second quarter. Corcoran gives way to Farrell, who spins off Wiggins, and the shot's no good. Rebound goes to the Wolverines. Kaiser kicks long down the court for Nolan. A nice pass inside Brown, off the window and in. How about the ball movement from the Wolverines so far today? They lead it by 30. 5:20 to go in the second quarter. Corcoran, defended by Wiggins. Crossover dribble now behind the back. Almost loses it. Kicks to the corner where Brewer won't take the 3. Corcoran with the basketball again. Triple threat position. Gets a screen from Bash. He's double teamed and the ball is turned over. Kaiser takes it away. Kaiser decides not to dribble. Ari Wiggins will come up and receive it at the left wing. She'll dump it straight inside Hillman. Leah Brown almost looks at a 3. Will drive with the left hand, and the scoop is up, and it is out. But she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
And Michigan 3 for 3 on free throws so far. Akron only 2 for 4 to go along with their 4 for 17 on field goals.
We'll have a timeout on the floor. Michigan leads 41-11 over Akron here at the Chrysler Center, and this has been a fantastic rebound after their first loss of the season. They were 7-0 going into the KFC Yum Center. They left 7-1 with a really bad taste in their mouth.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not like I don't think you would expect them to come back this strong. You definitely expected them to have some nice response against an Akron team that is not anywhere near Louisville was ranked number 10, so it's not like they were expected to just easily go in, but definitely a sign of what you want to see as they go into conference play against Wisconsin, Minnesota teams. They will be tougher opponents than this Akron team, but Michigan's definitely shown they're capable of winning the conference games they need to.
And they certainly get some help with starting against Wisconsin. to begin the Big Ten slate. And they play against Minnesota, as you mentioned. But then there's a big game that they'll be playing in Connecticut in the Basketball Hall of Fame Women's Showcase against Baylor. So this is really good for the Wolverines to have not necessarily tune-up games, but games to get themselves ready for the Big Bears.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of their. They have one more game against Eastern Michigan, but otherwise they're playing, a conference games. Baylor's another big school, and so this really is their last chance to kind of, like you said, not exactly a tune-up, but just kind of a chance to work through some things and not necessarily need to be perfect to win.
Baylor obviously had a fantastic season last year. They're 8-1 this year. Their lone loss coming to Big Ten powerhouse Maryland by 3 points. Maryland's only loss on the season came when they had 5 players out due to illness. And the Terrapins, big-time Big Ten favorites coming into the season, but Michigan, after their run last season, was expected to make some big-time noise in the Big Ten, and we certainly expect that to happen with the 7-1 record. And, well, don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but they are well on their way to 8-1 right now.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have shown positive signs, even with the Louisville loss. Obviously, that didn't really look good at all. But they definitely, they have a tough schedule, of course, with the game against Baylor at the Basketball Hall of Fame Women's Showcase. But they've shown they're capable of winning the big games. It's just a matter of will they beat teams like Baylor. They do play Maryland later, January 16th, on the road, and then again at home on February 20th. So that they have those games against the harder opponents which will really test how good this team is.
Leah Brown, an 82% shooter, finds her way through the first one. One dribble with the right hand. A quick squat of the knees, and the second one's good as well. Akron still finding trouble against Ari Wiggins' one-woman press. Neitzel back into the game. Rashid, Farrell, Teka, and Miller for the Zips. Neitzel's got it at the top of the key. She's defended by Kaiser, and she's well undersized. Miller tries to work around. Brown can't do it. Post for Neitzel. Sister of Colleen, who's sitting on the bench right now, finds the glass and it's in. Back to a 30-point spread. Ari Wiggins at the midcourt logo, dumps inside Kaiser. She'll go to work against Neitzel, who, like I said, is well undersized. She almost grabs her own rebound. Nolan grabs it instead. And a foul will go against Akron. It'll be the first on Emma Teka.
And Michigan is in the bonus now, so they will go to the line.
Maddie Nolan bends her knees, stands straight up, fires, and it's through. She's now got 7 points. She's 2 for 2 from downtown. Second highest scorer on the floor right now. Emily Kaiser leads the way on the floor with 9. Naz Hillman has 10. Nolan goes 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. It's 45-13 Michigan with 4:10 to go in the second quarter over the Akron Zips. MAC Conference School, 3-2. Rashid goes around the screen. She's defended by Nolan. She flips her way to Farrell. Back to Rashid at the top of the key. Defended again by Nolan. Just going around screens is number 3. Farrell, the free throw line. She finds her way to the near post, and it will swirl home. 45-15 is the Michigan lead. Ari Wiggins getting quick into the Michigan offense. Brown drives the lane, throws it to the corner, and it's bounced out of bounds. It deflected off an Akron defender. She was looking for Roush in the corner. Naz Hillman and Layla Filia will return for the Wolverines. And it looks like Jordan Hobbs will also get her first game time. But it'll have to be after the next whistle. Referees don't allow her enough time to get in the game. Brown to Nolan to Wiggins to Hillman inside the paint. Roush will now drive the lane. She'll kick to Hillman, who's under the basket. Roush will now have to reset the offense because Hillman mishandled it. 5 on the shot clock. Nolan to Filia. She drives the lane, puts it up with the right hand. It's off the side of the backboard. That'll be a shot clock violation with no rim.
So that will be Michigan's 8th turnover of the game. but they only have 6 missed shots. So they've still done a very good job turning their possessions into points for the most part.
Hillman, Nolan, Felia, Wiggins, and Roush. They play against Miller, Teka, Neitzel, Rashid, and Farrell. Neitzel controls the ball at the top of the key, defended by Hillman. That's a beautiful pass inside the lane to Miller, off the glass and in. Kendall Miller's first points. Michigan with the basketball. Jordan Hobbs controlling the rock in her right hand. She's at the Michigan logo. To Nolan, to Roush, who's at the right wing. Roush looks for Hillman at the near post. Hillman with the right hand, it's no good, but there's a foul. She'll go to the line. It'll go against Neitzel, who is just having some trouble keeping Naz Hillman out of the paint right now.
And Michigan is 7 for 7 on free throws so far.
Now you know what I'm going to say if they miss this one. Hillman with 10 points. The first one goes straight in. 46-17. Michigan's been making their money off of free throws here in the past 3 minutes. No field goals in the last 2:52. Hillman's second is off the front of the rim. Nolan grabs the offensive board. Roush races into the front court for the Wolverines. She gives to Stuck, who just checked into the game. Stuck gets stuck. Nolan to the right wing where Roush is standing. She gets the basketball against Miller. 5 seconds on the shot clock for the Wolverines. Hillman inside, Felia with the right hand off the window. Michigan leads by 31. Zakia Rashid, defended by Felia, goes around a screen from Bass. Standing at the bottom left corner of the Block M logo. Miller now at the right wing extended. Nolan tightly defending Teka, who hasn't gotten much playing time this season. Here's a dump inside. Bass with the right hand, spins off the defender, and gets the shot to go. So Michigan breaks that scoring drought, and Akron goes and responds straight on the other end. Hillman's double-teamed at the far post, trying to get away from defenders, and there will be a foul call. The Akron bench wanted a jump ball or a travel on Naz. The foul will go against Reagan Bass. It's her second. Michigan will enter the bonus for the first time today. Naz Hillman will go to the line where she's 1 for 2. She's got 11 points on the day so far.
That does lead the team.
Hillman's first shot is good. And the second one for 0-0. If this shot goes in, Michigan gets halfway to the century mark. And it goes straight through the nylon here at the near end. Akron will control with Rashid moving the basketball. Akron moves from right to left across the floor. 1:30 to go in the second quarter. Michigan leads 50-19. She's tightly defended by Felia. The ball gets loose, but she picks it back up. Miller for the Zips, defended by Nolan. Shot clock inside 10. Driving the lane with the right hand is Brewer. Akron's now 5 for 5 on their last 5 field goals. 50-21 is the Michigan advantage. Nolan inside Kaiser, that's Stuck with the right hand. She finds her way to swirl at home. And she was playing the role of Naz Hillman, or like we said, even Kaiser. And the ball is poked loose on the other end as Brewer was trying to drive the lane. It was taken away by Stuck. Hillman now to Felia, who slows down the offense inside a minute to go in the second quarter. Felia, a kickback. Roush for 3. It goes straight in for the Wolverines. 55-21. Across the midcourt stripe slowly goes Zakia Rashid. She's 0 for 1 on the day, 2 turnovers. She's played 10 minutes. Miller at the left wing. Defended by Roush, trying to direct traffic with 10 on the shot clock. And she'll be called for a 5-second violation. She tosses the ball behind her. And Michigan, with 25.9 seconds and the shot clock turned off, will get another shot for some more points going into halftime, as they're well on their way to an 8-1 mark this season, as long as they can hold off Akron's advances in the second half. Roush to Felia, top of the key, gets a screen. Roush defended by Brewer. Roush lets it go, and it's loose on the floor. She'll be called for a foul. Akron's got it. And Colleen Neitzel, the sister of Molly, gets her first action for the Zips.
Late substitution here with only 8.1 seconds left in the first half.
As you mentioned, 7 seconds now. Rashid's got to go quick. Rashid at the Block M logo. Neitzel, kick out, three-point try for Teka, and it's airballed well over the rim. Michigan heads into the locker room leading it 55-21 over the Akron Zips. And Akron, after coming off of a win against Detroit Mercy, they're going to need a lot of locker room adjustments to come back in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest difference probably is just the shooting percentages. Akron only 9 for 23, including 1 for 9 from 3. Michigan's been an incredible 20 for 26 overall and 5 for 7 from 3, along with Akron being 2 for 4 on free throws, Michigan 10 for 11. I think that's the biggest difference. Akron's also turned it over 16 times to Michigan's 9. But I think Michigan has been shooting very well, and that's allowed them to get up to 55 in the first half.
Well, Michigan went on a scoring drought there in the second half of that second quarter. Well, they finished 3 of their last 3 on field goals, and they lead it by 34. So quite obvious advantage for Michigan over Akron size-wise, and right now talent-wise looks like an even larger gap between Michigan and Akron.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what we've seen in this first half. Michigan just having the better talent to get good ball movement in the front court, move the ball around, set up good shots, and that's been a major reason why they've been shooting so well. Akron hasn't been able to do that. Michigan's had strong defense, forced Akron into taking the 9 three-pointers, and they've only made 1 of them.
Well, turnovers have been a big name of the game today so far. Akron's got 16 in the first half, and Michigan points off of turnovers 23. So they struggled in that first quarter to get points off of the turnovers that they were forcing against Akron. Nonetheless, they very much improved. 23 points off turnovers. You just can't have that happen if you're a MAC school trying to come into the big dog's house.
Yeah, I mean, that's 23. That's like 2/3 of the difference between these teams. So they hold on to the ball more, they get more shots off, they're going to score more, and they're not going to give Michigan as many free points.
Michigan also on free throws has quite the advantage. They've shot 11 to Akron's 4, and they have made 10.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Michigan did get into the bonus in the second quarter, so that gave them more opportunities. Michigan had fouled a lot in the first quarter, but I believe it was 4 fouls. They did not get into the, Akron didn't get into the bonus. They only had 2 chances on shooting fouls, and they only made 1 of the free throws each time.
The Wolverines, the women's end, as we mentioned, will head to Wisconsin on Thursday to play against the 2-6 Badgers, struggling so far this year. They will then host Minnesota for their holiday game, and then they'll head out to Connecticut to face off with the Baylor Bears. What do you see upcoming for the Wolverines? Because obviously, we talked about this just a few minutes ago. Baylor's a really tough opponent, a national championship contender with 1 loss against Big Ten's Maryland.
Yeah, I mean, I think Michigan, we'll see it. I think they need to win their 2 conference games against Wisconsin and Minnesota, and we'll see what comes from there. It's obviously a concerning sign with just how much Michigan got dominated in the first half against Louisville, but they're ranked number 12 for a reason, and they're still very capable of winning those types of tough games.
Michigan always makes sure that they do a great job of game presentation at the Chrysler Center. They're doing magic chairs with some young ladies. And Michigan's got a 55-21 lead. The future Wolverines on the floor. What a performance from them. That was nice.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday at the men's game, we saw a guy make a backward half-court shot.
He made it.
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't know that.
Yes, I think it was the second attempt.
Well, the little backstory on that shot, Juwan Howard did that during the COVID year where he'd stand at half court at road stadiums, and he had to make one. Had to make one every road trip. He'd stand at half court backwards, throw a shot over his back, over his shoulder, and somehow he got one to sink in on every single road trip. And Michigan's recreated that here at the Chrysler Center. And I believe they said it's $100 for every game, and then they add up. So if someone doesn't make it game one, the $100 racks over to the next game, and then $200 to the next game, $300, and so on. That's incredible, though. That's, I believe, $500 that kid won.
I think they announced it was 400.
400.
Yeah, I think that was the fourth home game.
Michigan has a 55-21 lead over Akron. Some individual stats. Naz Hillman with 13. Maddie Nolan has 8. Layla Felia getting her first career start is 3 for 5 from the floor. She has 9 points. Roush with 3, Stuck with 2. Leah Brown off the bench has 6. Seedor with 5. Emily Kaiser has 9. It seemed like a more quiet day for Emily Kaiser. However, she's really ripped the boards, and she's found a couple of shots to fall through the nylon as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen overall, I think great team performance. I mean, you see, I think the score, Hillman leads with 13 points, but I think we've just seen the scoring spread out a lot, which is what you want to see, just because it's a lot more sustainable than when you have one player completely carrying your team. We have Hillman at 13, Kaiser 9, Feely at 9 and hit her first start, Nolan at 8. So I think just looking at the team overall, there's a lot to like without having to worry about any specific player.
Michigan with a 55-21 lead over Akron here at the Chrysler Center in Ann Arbor. We're going to go quiet for a few minutes before we return for the second half. You're listening to Michigan Women's Basketball on WCBN FM Ann Arbor with Zach Linfield and Zach Linder. Welcome back in, everybody. Michigan with a 55-21 lead over Akron here at the Chrysler Center in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Zach Linder to my left. My name's Zach Linfield, and, well, we're both fresh off of long road trips last night and this morning. I know we both got to be a little bit groggy, a little bit tired after the Michigan win last night. However, the adrenaline rush, I think, kept us awake.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Definitely, I mean, of course, me being a freshman here, I didn't personally have to experience all the painful losses to Ohio State, yet it still feels like I did. And then the Michigan State loss back in October made it feel like it was just going to be the same Michigan team. Then we come out, beat Ohio State, and I mean, by far the best this team has ever been with Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, this Michigan team's incredible. Of course, calling those games are incredibly fun. Got to be incredibly thankful to WCBN. But Michigan women's basketball with the tally of 7-1. You found the interesting statistic, Zach, so I've got to bring it up and give you credit. Michigan has already scored more points in this game today than they scored all game on Wednesday against Louisville.
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of speaks to both performances. The fact that they just did not look good at all against Louisville, and especially in that first half. I mean, the first half, they only scored 15 points, which Louisville scored more than that in the second quarter alone. Yet now here, they, just in the first quarter, scored 25 and then added another 30.
Akron is fresh off of a one-game win streak against Detroit Mercy at home on Monday. They won by 7. Rachel Martindale led the scoring with 16. So far today, she has 4. She had 5 of their 7 three-pointers. The Zips forced 13 turnovers against the Titans and only allowed 4 made three-pointers. The Michigan Wolverines so far today are 5 of 7 from long range.
Yeah, and I mean, we've kind of seen opposite trends with both teams. Michigan, of course, getting a breather after facing a top-ranked Louisville team, whereas Akron now comes to Chrysler and plays a much better team than the Detroit Mercy team that they beat earlier, and the results are showing. Neither team's looking anything like they did in their last game.
Second half just about underway here from the Chrysler Center. To begin the second half, Akron on the floor. Brewer, Rashid, Dawson, Farrell, Bass, Michigan, Hillman, Filia, Roush, Sidor, and Kaiser. Akron has the basketball trailing by 34. And we're underway in the second half. Dawson drives the lane. She's at the post, puts it up with the left hand and can't connect. Roush grabs the rebound. She moves from right to left across the Michigan block M, controlling with the left hand. She wanted Kaiser at the near post, not successful. Sidor now has it in the corner. She splits defenders, rolling with the right hand. A nice pass to Hillman, up off the glass and good. So Nas increases her team lead with 15 points. Brewer, a third-team All-MAC selection a season ago, dumps it inside to the post to Bass. It goes off of the leg of Kaiser. It'll remain Akron basketball. 57-21 is the Wolverine lead. Rashid dumps in Brewer. Got it at the free throw line. Brewer puts it up. The shot's no good. That's Dawson. The rebound goes to Bass, and she's fouled. Emily Kaiser was unable to block out Reagan Bass, and she'll go to the free throw line.
So as we have mentioned, they are only 2 for 4 shooting free throws so far.
Reagan Bass to shoot 2 for the Zips. The first one is all but nylon. 57-22 Michigan. That's the third point for Bass. Her second connects as well. Michigan will be looking at a zone press against the Zips, and that's the diamond kind. Driving inside the lane for the Wolverines goes Sidor. A high arcing shot falls through for the Wolverines. They're nearing 60 points. It's 59-23 Wolverines. Pass long court is deflected away by Sidor. And Sidor's got 7 now on the day.
Yeah, I mean, we did see there Akron was trying to go more aggressive with the zone press, as you mentioned, which they're going to have to do to try to force takeaways and get back in the game, but of course didn't work right there and led to not enough coverage in the front court.
Dawson inbounds, controlling the basketball is Rashid. She took over for Corcoran in the first half. Dribbling at the top of the key, Brewer kicks it back outside to her point guard Dawson, who's fouled. The shot was no good, but I believe it'll be on the floor. Foul goes against Nas.
So that is Michigan's second foul in only the first minute 17, which is more reminiscent of what they did in the first quarter.
Rashid will inbound. Looking for Dawson. Instead it goes inside, and it's blocked away. Bass was blocked by Kaiser. Kaiser controls it up to Seedor with the right hand. Can't get the spin to go. Hillman with the offensive board, triple teamed. And Seedor now controls it at the right wing. She looks inside. Kaiser on the doorstep, ripped away by Bass, and Akron controls. Here come the Zips. The other way goes Farrell with the right hand. Rashid works now at the top of the key against Roush. Felia defending Dawson, who has the basketball. She wears number 25 at the Michigan block M, and she double dribbled with it. I think she tried to get away from the near side referee, thinking that maybe the Michigan defender poked that first one away, but nonetheless a double dribble.
And that's now Akron's 17th turnover of the game compared to Michigan's 10.
Certainly racking up, and that's a big number for Kim Barnes-Rico too, 10 for the Wolverines. Felia got it at the top of the key to Roush. Top of the key again, Kaiser looking inside for Hillman, who tumbles to the ground. It'll go out of bounds in Akron's basketball.
See, that is Michigan's 11th turnover, which is not great, but this 22 for 29 shooting will kind of help offset that.
Controlling the basketball across the midcourt logo goes Rashid. Brewer is defended by Hillman at the left wing extended. Bass at the top of the key, dribbling with the left hand. Gives it back. Farrell, a three-point try. It's an air ball. Michigan will take possession.
So that's now 1 for 10 for shooting from 3 for Akron, and that one, an air ball, not particularly close. So they've just been forced into making too many difficult shots, and they're not succeeding on enough of them.
Their three-point shooting on the floor right now is 0 for 6. Seedor with a crossover dribble to Feely at the left wing, looking inside Hillman at the near post. She spins with the right hand, hooks it off the glass and no good. It just trickled out. Rebound goes to the Zips. Rashid's got it, dribbling with her right hand at the right wing. She wanted the post to Bass, but she's closed off by Hillman. The reversal now goes to the left wing. Farrell dribbling against Felia. She tries to give way to Dawson. There'll be a foul down on the floor. It'll go against the Maize and Blue. That'll be their third of the quarter.
So they are only 2 away from a bonus now with less than 3 minutes into the quarter, so that's not a good sign.
Michigan leads 59-23, just over 7 to go in the third. Akron made their first field goal of the half. Haven't made one since. A scoring drought of a little over 2 minutes. Rashid, Martindale, Brewer on the floor. Bass along with Dawson for the Zips. At the top of the key, Martindale, their leading scorer against Mercy. 1 on the shot clock for the Zips, throwing it up and no good. That'll be a shot clock violation. It went straight off the backboard. Kim Barnes-Rico is fired up on the far sideline. That's the second shot clock violation of the day against Akron. Michigan on the floor, Hillman, Felia, Roush, Seedor, and Kaiser. No scoring for both teams and now over 2.5 minutes. Roush is in the far corner. She wanted Hillman at the free throw line. She'll get a pick from double zeros now. She works with the left hand around that screen, and Hillman outside the three-point arc. Felia driving with the right hand. Got her first start today with the glass and no good. Rebound will go to Kaiser. She fought for it. Wonderful effort by Emily Kaiser. Seedor to the corner. Felia looked at a three, didn't take it. Instead, she'll throw it inside. Kaiser works against her defender. Off the glass, no good. She gets her own rebound again. Off the glass, no good again. Emily Kaiser with the little sigh at the end. She'll make her way back down to play defense against Akron. Michigan leads by 36 here in the Chrysler Center against the Zips. Brewer with the basketball, who finds a cutting Brewer off the glass and good. Excuse me, that's Dawson with the shot. Brewer with the assist. Now it's nice offense. Defense turning into offense for Akron. They finally grab the board. Seedorf looks inside for Hillman. Felia, kick out, 3-point try for Roush. She's unable to connect. Rebound to Kaiser. She's really fighting right now. Seedorf, a three. Give me that. 62-25. Michigan leads over the Akron Zips. A little under halfway through this third quarter. Brewers got it for Akron. They wear blue uniforms against Michigan's white. Here's a pull-up jumper for Bass. It's no good. Rebound goes to the Wolverines and Roush. Across the midcourt logo, Felia's got it in the far corner. She dumps that one inside. Kaiser with the right hand goes up with the right, and it's no good. However, there was a traveling violation before the shot, so Akron will get the basketball. We'll go to immediate timeout. 4:59 to go in the third quarter. Michigan leads 62-25 after their 3-minute scoring drought.
Yeah, they still have only made one of their last 7, but Cedar just got the 3, and I think that was what you wanted to see on that type of possession. They had just missed a 3, but they're able to get the offensive rebound, and that allows them to extend the possession, give themselves another chance. They end up making another 3. That's the type of complementary basketball that's allowed Michigan to get out to the 62-25 lead that we just didn't see in their 70-48 loss to Louisville on Thursday.
Michigan being led by Naz Hillman with 15 rebounds. Emily Kaiser has been fighting her way for 8. If she can grab 2 more boards and convert on 1 more point, she'd have her double-double on the day. Naz Hillman has 2 total rebounds, 15 points, and she's a double-double machine. It's looking pretty tough right now for Naz, especially with the scoring advantage we'll say the Wolverines have, that she'll get her double-double.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility. Obviously, not the most important thing when you look at the team as a whole, but definitely a nice accomplishment to get.
Michigan and Akron, this isn't the first time that the two teams have played. The Wolverines faced off against Akron in 2019. And that was much closer. The Wolverines won that game by 9 points, 80-71, so very high scoring. I don't think Akron's going to be getting to 71 today. It would take a wonderful shooting performance in the last 15.
Yeah, especially with how they've started 10 for 29 from the field, 4 for 6 on free throws, that does not seem like something they turn around. And not even an average performance would get you 46 over the last 15 minutes.
Maybe Akron just isn't used to this kind of stage. They haven't played a Power 5 team in 2 whole seasons. Their lone game last year against the Power 5 was canceled due to a COVID-19 outbreak, and that would have been in Columbus against Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it with a lot of sports teams. Like football, you had a lot of non-conference games completely canceled. Basketball, there was still a non-conference schedule, but of course less games, and you always had the issue of when games would get canceled. Of course, that's not as much of an issue this year.
On the floor for Akron, Corcoran, Miller, Martindale, Dawson, and Bass. Wolverines show Hillman, Nolan, Roush, Brown, and Kaiser. Having trouble with it is Miller against Hillman, who's defending at the midcourt logo. She gives way to Brewer, dribbling with the right hand at the right wing. She's defended by Maddie Nolan, who gets her first appearance in the second half. Dribbling with it now is Miller. She goes off the glass. Hillman fouled her. Shot was no good, but she'll go to the line.
Yeah, that's now Michigan. That's Michigan's 4th foul of the quarter, so their next one will put Akron in the bonus.
Miller hasn't shot a free throw today. She's 2 for 2 from the field. 4 points. First free throw rims out after about 4 different bounces. And here's a second one from Miller. The senior from right inside Akron attended St. Vincent St. Mary High School, and I believe that's very familiar to you guys. LeBron James attended St. Mary St. Vincent's. Roush a behind the back dribble against her defender Corcoran, who got the start and then sat for the majority of the second quarter. She'll be fouled for playing maybe a bit too aggressive defense against Danielle Roush.
So that will only be Akron's first foul here with 4:29 left in the third. So they've been the more disciplined team this quarter.
Michigan's inbound goes to Brown, also getting her first appearance in the second half. Roush to Nolan in the far corner, Kaiser. She's defended by a smaller Miller. She almost throws an errant pass, and it will go out of bounds. And she'll run into the scores table. Akron will take over possession.
So that will be Michigan's 13th turnover of the game, which is not ideal. But as we've been talking about earlier, their high shooting percentage has allowed them to overcome the turnovers.
They've had 4 turnovers in the last 5 minutes. I'm sure KBA will have a word with their squad about that heading into the fourth quarter. Corcoran finds a driving Martindale. Here's a three-point try in the corner for Dawson. It's no good. Rebound goes to Nolan. Fixing her hair was Brown, and she completes the pass nonetheless. Brown, top of the key, Hillman. Hillman to the left wing, where Roush controls. She finds her way to the top of the key. Nolan, who's 2 for 2 on threes, is outside the three-point arc. Gives it to Kaiser just above the free throw line. Brown with the fake pass, 10 on the shot clock. Roush with it now at the right wing. She was defended by Martindale. Hillman with it, 4 on the shot clock. Kaiser spins with the right hand, and she'll be fouled.
So that'll be Akron's second.
Michigan's offense really started to explode when Ari Wiggins checked into the game in the second quarter. She'll get some action here. Checking in for Akron is Molly Neitzel.
The scoring in this quarter is only 7-5 in favor of Michigan, so a very low-scoring quarter.
Kaiser at the free throw line. She gets in the double digits. That's her 10th. She needs 2 boards to complete the double-double on the afternoon. 63-26 Michigan, 3:30 to go in the third quarter. The second one's good for Kaiser. Corcoran will get a full woman court press by Ari Wiggins. The freshman already giving her some trouble. Brewer in the near corner, looking for a cutting Martindale, can't complete the pass. Molly Neitzel will put up an 18-footer. The shot's no good. Rebound goes to Miller, an offensive board for Akron. A Corcoran three-point try, can't connect. Rebound to Roush. She pushes across the midcourt stripe. Wiggins at the left wing. Dumps it inside to the near post for Kaiser. Kaiser spins. Left-hand shot is in. A wonderful move at the post for Emily Kaiser. She's got 13. Akron at the other end. Brewer can't get a shot to go. Rebound to Nolan. Nolan dribbling with the left hand. Doesn't have the speed to get by Corcoran, the hard-nosed defender for Akron. Wiggins works against Brewer at the midcourt stripe. A quick left-handed dribble. Wiggins finds her way inside the paint. Too strong. Rebound to Neitzel, who almost turns the ball over. Defended by Wiggins. Akron moves the ball quickly. Brewer, a full-court pass to Martindale across the length of the sidelines for Akron. She works against Roush. Now Corcoran at the top of the key, defended by Wiggins. A steady dribble and hands off to Martindale, who gets a switch. Maybe on to Wiggins. That's the girl she wants. Neitzel puts up a 15-footer, and that one's pure. 66-28 Michigan lead. 2 minutes to go in the third. Michigan moving quickly. Kaiser inside the paint again with the left hand. She gets that one to go. It's a 40-point advantage for the Wolverines. 68-28, under 2 to go. And Akron and their head coach, Melissa Johnson, in her third season, will call a timeout on the far sideline. Michigan leads by 40 over Akron here in the Chrysler Center in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, we have seen Michigan finally start to pick up their scoring here later in the third, after it had kind of slowed when both teams were in scoring droughts earlier in the third quarter. Michigan leads 13-7 overall in scoring in this third quarter, as their lead has jumped to 40.
Michigan hasn't really had this kind of success against a team this season, scoring-wise. Their defense has really been sufficient for Michigan so far, and it's gotten the job done. But good defense today has turned into wonderful offense for the Wolverines so far.
Yeah, that is what you want to see with this team as they get into a harder schedule. I think the one more concerning thing is the turnovers, because the 65.8% shooting percentage isn't really sustainable, so they will want to clean that up a little. I think they can clean up the fouls a bit, but overall, a lot of positive signs for this team. And as you mentioned, Wisconsin is not a particularly difficult first conference opponent, although you have to assume they're still going to be a harder team than Akron.
And it's on the road.
Yeah, that is always a factor.
Michigan points-wise, they're being led by Hillman and Kaiser, who's knotted up at 15. Sedor has 10, Nolan has 8. She's 2 for 2 from downtown, as we mentioned a couple of minutes ago. Akron is led with 6 points from Molly Neitzel. 5 points from Miller. Brewer and Martindale split with Bass at 4 points.
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at both teams and they're kind of pretty well balanced. It's just that Michigan, the numbers are a lot higher, whereas Akron, you're looking at players being between 4 and 6 points. Michigan, you have 5 women who have 8 or more, and 3 in double digits.
Michigan 68, Akron 28. 1:46 to go here in the third quarter. Michigan's high of scoring on the year was 82 against St. Francis Brooklyn back on November 13th.
Definitely feels like something that they should be able to beat if they keep the pressure on.
Yeah, 14 points in 11:46. Akron begins with the basketball. A kickball is called against Maddie Nolan, so we'll have to redo the inbound. Lane Farrell, the redshirt sophomore from Franklin, Ohio, will inbound. She leads the team in blocks, and she's matched up with Maddie Nolan at the near end of the floor. She has the basketball at the left wing, 15 on the shot clock. Dumps it towards the far post, and it was an incomplete pass. She was looking for Neitzel. Nolan was all in the face of Farrell, causing the incompletion. Feels like I'm back to Indianapolis last night. Roush top of the key to Brown. Michigan controls it. She wears number 32 in white. Michigan logo on the left and right hips. Nolan's got it, dumps it inside. Kaiser off the glass and good. What a pass from Maddie Nolan. Michigan cracks 70. Akron quickly into the front court. Corcoran with 0 points. She started every game this season. Dribbles back and forth with the right and left hands, defended by Wiggins, who switches off with Farrell now controlling the basketball with the left hand. Back to Corcoran. She drives on Nolan. And here's Neitzel for a free throw jumper. It's no good. Rebound goes to Brown. Brown, of course, across that midcourt stripe. Wiggins in the far corner, dribbling with the left hand. Nolan at the free throw line. She dumps it inside Kaiser. Why not again? It's pure. Emily Kaiser is working the post right now. 72-28, a full court pass for Brewer. She can't get the shot to go. It got stuck in between the backboard and rim. Michigan with no timer. 20 to go in this third quarter, and the clock quickly ticking. Corcoran's going to get called for another aggressive foul on ball.
When we look at trends here, Michigan's made their last 3 field goals, and Akron's only made 1 of their last 8. That's allowed Michigan to stretch this lead out to a 72-28 lead.
Leah Brown with the basketball, 13 on the timer in the third quarter. Brown gets a screen from Kaiser. She elects to go the other way, and there will be a foul underneath the basket. Looks like Leah Brown will find her way to the charity stripe for the first time. Excuse me, this will be the second time she's been to the stripe. She's 2 for 2 today with 6 points. Michigan 12 of 13 from the stripe today. Brown puts up her first, and it goes straight through. No issue for Leah. Receives the ball from the referee. 7.3 seconds to go in the third quarter before this break. Leah Brown's now 4 for 4 on the day from the free throw line. Akron with 7 seconds. Farrell gives it up the court to Rashid. She's got 2 seconds. Neitzel's got to put up a shot, and it is nowhere near the rim. Good defense by Emily Kaiser. That's how we end the third. Michigan 74, Akron 28. And now they only need 8 points away from their season high total.
And I am pretty confident with how this team has played that they will get those 8 points. Even in the loss at Louisville, they still 3 of the 4 quarters scored more than 8.
And even Naz Hillman just checked back in to come into the game for the Wolverines. And she'll give Emily Kaiser a much-needed blow. Well-deserved.
Kaiser leads the team with 19 points. Hillman second at 15.
And Naz just 5 points under her season average, which is 20.4. Averaging 9.7 boards, just over an assist. She dealt with the injury about halfway through the non-conference schedule, didn't start one game, had to sit for another. But she's back, and it's wonderful that this women's team is finding the success that they've had, of course, last year in the run they made. Now, of course, this year, a 7-1 start. They're well on their way to 8-1. This is nice to see for Kim Barnes-Arico and her squad.
Yeah, definitely a strong start in this non-conference schedule as of course they're ranked highly, but looking for signs, are they actually a real contender? And definitely the way this team looks so far, they look like they could be a contender to make a deep run in the Big Ten and eventually the NCAA tournament.
Of course, lots of news around campus these last couple of days. Men's team got a really nice win yesterday against a talented San Diego State Aztec group.
Yeah, I mean, the men's team hasn't looked as sharp, but they did have a nice second half to get the win to improve to 5-3. They start their non-conference or their conference schedule at Nebraska Tuesday, and then they host Minnesota next Saturday as both basketball teams host Minnesota, men's on Saturday and then women's next Sunday.
And of course, you can find radio coverage, play-by-play color commentary right here on WCBN's YouTube for both of those contests. Michigan's football team will be heading to Miami to play on New Year's Eve against the powerhouse Georgia Bulldogs. Michigan's first college football playoff appearance. Hockey split this past weekend with Minnesota. All good things so far for the Wolverines in their winter sport and the remaining fall sport here in Ann Arbor.
And I personally next weekend will be in Columbus, Ohio to call their road hockey trap.
Ew. Michigan with the basketball. Leah Brown's getting trapped. She's got to escape it. She's trapped for a second time. She finds a nice pass to Jordan Hobbs, who checks into the game. She got some action in the first half. Brown at the top of the key, 15 on the timer. Crossover dribble, finds Hobbs in the corner, and she has to tiptoe the sideline, but she's out of bounds. Nice to see the freshman from Springboro, Ohio get some action for the Wolverines. Rashid controls for Akron. Layla Felia is on the ground in a little bit of pain. She'll have to limp it off. A three-point try is in and out for Rashid. And Felia gingerly walking down the court. She fell down after a screen, and then Rashid put up a three-point attempt that didn't seem very close. 9:30 to go in the fourth quarter. Michigan 74, Akron 28. Slowly dribbling at the midcourt logo is Sidor, who gives way to Feely at the left wing. Back to Sidor at the right wing, looking inside for Kaiser. Dumping inside, Hillman off the glass, and good! You can count it, and the foul. Naz Hillman, 17 points. The connection between her and Leah Brown and Emily Kaiser today have been fantastic. The assist there goes to Brown.
Yeah, I mean, really the whole team, they've been able to move the ball very well.
Hillman's free throw. You can count all three of them. Michigan 77, Akron 28. And this has been domination from start to finish here in Ann Arbor. And Leah Brown says, under the basket to Miller. Blocked away. Akron's basketball with 19 on the shot clock. Under a minute, just over a minute, that is, into the fourth quarter.
Another example, really strong, aggressive defense by Michigan that's held Akron to 28 points.
Inbound pass is successful. Miller's got the basketball for Akron. She gets a screen from Colleen Neitzel. And at the free throw line is Miller. Here's a three-point try for Rashid, and she finds her way through the bottom of the net. She's 1 for 3 now. That's her first point. She's got a triple. Jordan Hobbs controlling at the left wing for the Wolverines. Feely at the top of the key now, looking inside for Brown. Brown trying to work with Hillman. She now steps around a defender, puts it up with the left hand, and it can't find its way through. However, there is a foul against the Zips.
So that's the second shooting foul Akron's had this quarter. Michigan already made one shot where they were also fouled. Now another opportunity to get 2 more points from the free throw line.
Colleen Neitzel's first foul of the game. First free throw for Brown is straight through. She's 5 for 5 from the stripe, and she's got 9. And the second one is repetitive of the first and the rest of the 5. 6 for 6 from the line. Michigan leads 79-31. As we mentioned, the season high for the Wolverines is 82. Brewer with the basketball, working against Hobbs. And that's a lot of strength from Brewer. She goes straight into Hobbs and converts on the 2-pointer. 79-33. Seedor at the top of the key to Hobbs at the right wing. Defended by Miller. She's almost intercepted. Brown with it in the corner for Felia. Seedor was looking at a 3, didn't take it. A nice pass to Hobbs in the far corner. Hobbs drives with the left hand, and she'll be called for a foul. Her defender, that is called for a foul.
That's Akron's third foul in the fourth quarter, as we've kind of seen the teams alternate which quarter each one fouls more. Michigan now, Akron 2 fouls away from giving Michigan a bonus.
Whitney Solom checks into the game for the Wolverines. Hillman wanted a free throw line jumper, instead gives it out to Felia, who tries a 10-footer, and it is go straight through for Felia. As I mentioned earlier, getting her first start of her collegiate career. Solom's played in 4 games this season, no starts. This is her 5th. Michigan with an 81-33 advantage over Akron. And there's a foul at the near end. It'll go against Michelle Seedor. A pump fake got her into the air. Rashid drew some contact. That's the first foul of the half for the Wolverines, or of the quarter, that is. Rashid with the basketball for Akron in the midcourt logo. Dribbles around a screen. She's defended by Seedor. Miller, Teka for 3. She airballed again. That's her second unorthodox airball. And Hillman pushes to Hobbs. Kicks it out. Seedor, she'll drive the lane inside the paint with the left hand, and she gets the shot to go. 50-point advantage for the Wolverines in their season high in points. 7 minutes to go in the fourth. Pass is almost taken away by Solom. The 3-point try is good for Neitzel. Across the half-court stripe goes Seedor. Hobbs in the right wing. Gives it back Seedor. She'll try a 3-point shot from straight away. Almost banked it in. The shot's no good. Neitzel with the rebound. The other way goes Rashid for Akron. Gets across the logo. A 3-point try. A long 3-point try for Teka finds its way through. All of a sudden, Akron has 10 points in this quarter. Michigan still leads 83-39. No threat from the Akron Zips in the first 3 quarters. Got it to the spread. Seedor backs out her dribble. Gives it to the corner for Hobbs. And there's a foul called underneath the basket. And it'll go against Akron. Looks like Colleen Neitzel will be called for the foul on Naz Hillman, who will check out of the game for perhaps the last time. Elise Stuck will check in for the Wolverines. Hillman, if that is her last action, had 18 on the day, 2 under her average. Seedor having trouble getting the ball in, just errantly throws it back to Felia, and it ended up being a nice pass. She gives way to Stuck at the top of the key. She flips it back to Felia now. And here's another foul call. And it looks like it'll stay at this end. Neitzel may be whistled again. And that is the case. 3rd foul on Colleen Neitzel.
And that does put Michigan into the bonus, so they will go to the line.
And Whitney Solom will take her first free throws. This is Whitney's first free throw attempt on the season. It's off the back of the rim. Interestingly enough, Whitney and I were from the same high school friends. With an 83-39 lead, it's nice to see Whitney getting some action. Heartland High School, about 30 minutes north of Ann Arbor. The second one's no good as well. One of the quickest Heartland High School athletes all time to crack 1,000 points scoring in her 4 years of varsity basketball. At the other end, Akron with it. And the shot's no good. Off the front of the rim, hits the back of the rim for Farrell. Michigan moves it the other way, and there's another foul. And I think this is going to go against Farrell, and going back to the line will be Whitney Solom.
Yeah, Akron's play really seems to be getting undisciplined here. Maybe just a little frustrated with how they've been playing.
Getting some action for the Zips is Gabrielle Brown-Mitchell, the senior from Salon, Ohio. So Solom, who's 0 for 2 on that last trip. Here's her third try. It goes through. So good for Whitney getting her points. 84-39 is the Michigan lead. .539. Michigan leads, like I mentioned, 84-39. The second one's no good. Whitney's 1 for 4. The other way goes Akron. Miller driving with the left hand. She tries the reversal shot. It's no good, but there's a foul on the floor. It'll go against Elise Stuck.
That'll be their second of the quarter.
Stuck has now been whistled 3 times. And Akron and their head coach, Melissa Johnson, will take a timeout. She's in her 3rd season as the Zips head woman. A 32-30 record that will turn into 32-31 by the time we're done here today. Michigan with a big-time lead, 84-39 over the Zips of Akron. The Wolverines will head to Wisconsin on Thursday to take on the Badgers in their first Big Ten Conference matchup.
Yeah, well, it hasn't been a completely perfect performance, as we mentioned with the turnovers and some of the fouls. There really isn't much more that Michigan could do to inspire confidence going on that road trip.
Almost halfway through this 4th quarter, Michigan with Felia, Hobbs, Seedor, Solom, and Stuck on the floor against Akron's Miller, Teka, Brown, Mitchell, Farrell, and Neitzel. Naz Hillman had another fantastic day, along with Emily Kaiser, 18 for Naz, 19 for Emily, and not to mention Michelle Seedor with 12. Maddie Nolan had 8. She's 2 for 2 from downtown, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, and her only 2 shots were those 3-pointers, and they were long 3-pointers. Maddie Nolan knows how to shoot the 3, and as the rest of the season goes on, they're going to need that 3-point specialist to maneuver their way through this Big Ten schedule.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a useful ability to shoot the threes, because we've seen, like, with Akron here, they've had to shoot a lot of them because Michigan's defense has been too tight around the basket, and they've been 4 for 17. That's really a major reason why they've only scored 39. So definitely being able to shoot 3 essentially allows you to shoot the ball right over the defense. It makes the opposing defense a lot less effective.
Michigan, Akron nearing the final buzzer here in the 4th quarter. 5:31 to go in this final period. Michigan's had a wonderful performance, and I'd say the connection of Kaiser and Hillman have been there all day, and I'm sure they'll be done, as the Wolverines should be on their way to emptying the bench here in Ann Arbor. Already a season high in points. Akron with the basketball at the near end. They get the inbound just in time. Farrell controlling at the top of the key. Gets the pass to Colleen Neitzel, and here's a shot from Miller with the right hand, and it falls through. So Akron cracks 40 in this one. 84-41. It's a 43-point lead for the Wolverines. It was once at 50. And Akron went on a short scoring run of 8 points, and they've been quiet since that field goal. Cedar dribbling with the right hand around a screen. Hobbs with it at the right wing. Top of the key for Stuck. She drives with the left hand off the glass. It's no good. It hit the front of the rim. Rebound goes to the Zips and Farrell. She's got 3 points. She dribbles with the left hand. She's looking for her fifth, and the ball trickles away. Driving the lane is now Tekka, and she'll be fouled by Elise Stuck. That'll be her fourth.
So Stuck is now one foul away from fouling out. The team's only at 3 here, so Akron's still 2 away from getting into the bonus.
Checking in for the Wolverines is Ari Wiggins again and Isabel Varejo. Solom defending Farrell very tightly. And now a corner kick. Akron. Neitzel puts up a shot, and it's off the back of the rim. The ball goes off the foot of Wiggins, but Cedar is right there to help her out. Wiggins between the leg dribble, also shifty with the basketball. Verija, will have to correct myself from a minute ago, with the basketball for her first time. Here's a kick inside, looking for Solom, and it's out of bounds. Wiggins and Solom not on the same page.
So that'll be Michigan's 15th turnover of the game, Akron at 19. So that number actually is pretty close.
Michigan garnished a big-time lead based off of turnovers in that first half. Brown Mitchell playing the role of point guard right now against Wiggins, excuse me. Miller just exited the floor for the Akron Zips. Around the screen goes Tekka. Now in the corner, Neitzel kicks. Nice pass outside to Farrell, and it's taken away by Verajao. She's on the floor. This will be a jump ball. And a nice effort from Isabel.
So the ball, it looks like will go to Akron on the jump ball.
Verja was a little giddy. She found her way all the way into the Michigan front court and had to promptly return. Isabel, you got to play defense on this end. Brown Mitchell to inbound. It's a nice pass. Farrell with the left hand gets the shot to go, and you can count it. It'll be a Michigan foul, and one. It'll go against Cedar.
Michigan now is up to 4 fouls. The next one will put Akron in the bonus. They have the 1 free throw here after the made basket.
Akron currently outscoring the Wolverines in this fourth quarter 15-10. And the free throw for Farrell is good. Wiggins controlling for the Wolverines across the block M. Left-handed dribble, working against Brown Mitchell. A nice shifty move. She finds her way inside the lane. She puts it up and almost gets it to fall. But it trickles out, so Ari Wiggins will find her way to the line. 3:40 to go. Michigan by 40. 84-44 over the Zips.
That is now Akron's 7th foul here. As Whitney Solomon was 1 for 4 in free throws. Before that, they had only missed 1.
Wiggins is 2 for 3 on the season, and she'll now be 2 for 4. It rimmed out. The big difference right now for the Wolverines and Zips is Wiggins' second free throw is good. Michigan shooting 67% from the field, Akron 35. So massive difference when it comes to shooting from the field between the Wolverines and the Zips. Akron with the basketball currently. Stort has it. Her first action. Here's a three-point try for Neitzel. It's no good. Rebound goes to Hobbs, and there will be another foul.
So that'll send Hobbs now to the line, as Michigan's had a lot of free throw action this quarter, reaching the bonus so early. And going on top of the field goal percentages, Michigan's also 6 for 10 shooting from 3, whereas Akron's 4 for 18.
First free throw for Hobbs. One dribble with the right hand, and the free throw goes straight through. 86-44 Michigan leads. Hobbs now 3 for 4 shooting on the season from the charity stripe. Her second one is good as well. Brown Mitchell with it, defended by Wiggins. She finds her way around a screen to the left wing. A slow, controlled dribble, top of the key for Neitzel, who gets a backdoor pass. That's a wonderful offensive set for the Zips, and the shot is good for Lane Farrell. The redshirt sophomore from Franklin, Ohio, finds herself with a couple more points. She's got 8. Wolverines controlled Hobbs. A kick to the far corner where Wiggins has it. Verajao at the free throw line was looking for Solom inside. Wiggins with the right hand puts it up with the left. Rebound is bounced away and taken away by Colleen Neitzel. And here come the Zips. Brown Mitchell across the midcourt logo. She almost has it stolen away by Wiggins, and she is successful with it. Wiggins with the cookies the other way with the left hand, trying to go from the right side. The shot's no good, and the rebound was almost grabbed by Hobbs. So a lot of action in the past 30 seconds for the Wolverines and Zips. But the ball will go over to Akron. Gonna go down as a block by Colleen Neitzel. Haven't seen many of those today. Leah Brown with the biggest one. Another backdoor pass from Neitzel inside to Farrell, and the shot is good. Michigan falling asleep on the defensive end. 87-48. Just over 2 minutes to go here in Ann Arbor. Solom dumps inside. Verajao with the right hand and the hook shot, no good. Solom finds her way back inside. There was no box out by the Akron Zips, and Whitney Solom with her first field goal. 89-48, Michigan's advantage, under 2 to go. Amateka controlling the basketball and the dribble, passes to Stewart for a three-point try, and it falls. Michigan slowly controlling, 1:30 to go in the final period. Sidor looking inside for Verajao. She's got it at the near post. She squares up her defender, Neitzel, spins, goes back with the left. The hook shot falls through. She got it to rattle home. Michigan over 90. Alexis Stewart with the ball against Hobbs. And it's a 5-second violation. So Michigan will be able to get Taylor Gibson, the freshman from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, into the game for the first time.
It's a good opportunity for Michigan, as you've mentioned earlier. Having this 40-point lead really allows them to give everyone some playing time while also giving their top players some rest.
Gibson has played 1 minute on the season, appearing in one game. Sidor still in the game, controlling it for the younger girls out there. And here comes Brown Mitchell the other way after the Michigan turnover. Mitchell inside after a kickball. The whistle will play, and Akron will retain possession. They trailed it by 40, 91-51. Michigan will take their walk back to the dorms, apartments, wherever tonight, with a good taste in their mouths after the Louisville game on Wednesday. Inbound pass to Stewart, and at the top of the key is Farrell. Back to Stewart, looking inside for Neitzel. She decides not to. Here's a pull-up jumper from just inside the three-point arc. Shot's no good. Wiggins with the board. I'm sure they'll try and find Taylor Gibson somewhere on the floor for a shot. Bears out the top of the key. Sidor with it now at the left wing. Sidor driving, dumps it inside. Taylor Gibson with the right hand, and it falls through. Her first points of her career in a Michigan uniform. Takes the lead from 40-42 against Akron. There's a three-point try in the near corner for Farrell, and it falls. And Ari Wiggins will walk the ball up, and the Michigan faithful here in the Chrysler Center will stand on their feet and cheer on the victors, as Michigan's going to take this game by a significant margin. 93-54 is the final score inside the Chrysler Center. The Michigan Wolverines, and Taylor Gibson gets her first career points as a Wolverine.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want to see, a game like this. They have that lead. Now, Akron did outscore Michigan 26-19 in the fourth quarter, probably in large part because Michigan put some reserves in, but it gives some of the other players an opportunity, and you like to see them take advantage of it.
Well, let's do a quick statistical recap of this game after Michigan's 93-54 win before the Wolverines head to Madison, Wisconsin on Thursday to take on the Badgers. Next up for the Akron Zips is Sunday against Cleveland State at 5 p.m. in Akron. The Vikings are 7-0 with their closest margin being 9 points. So the Vikings may pose another big threat for the Zips. They've now lost 3 of their last 4. The Wolverines, Hillman had 18, Kaiser with 19, Cedar with 12, and Leah Brown and Layla Filia also found their way in the double digits with 11 and 10 respectively. The Zips were led on offense by Farrell with 13. Their next highest was 7 points for Miller. The Wolverines dominant in all facets of the game this afternoon.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that we've been talking about a lot is their percentage from the field, 64.7% for Michigan, 38.9% for Akron. That's been the biggest difference. Akron had to attempt 23s. They made 6 of them, but a lot of them came in the fourth quarter when the game was already over. Michigan 6 for 10, so they didn't have to attempt as many because they were able to get more close-range shots, and they also were just much better shooting them, and that allowed them to get up to this huge advantage.
The Wolverines were absolutely dominant in that first half, outscoring the Zips 55-21 in that first half, 25-4 in the first quarter. The Wolverines, as I mentioned, dominant in all facets of the game, but now with the Big Ten schedule, and then right after that, Baylor on the docket, what do the Wolverines need to improve moving forward? I know it's hard. That's a hard question after a 93-54 win.
Yeah, I mean, I've been alluding to this throughout the game. I'd say the two things are turnovers. They still had 16, and I think they overcame it because they were shooting so well, but they're not going to sustain a 64.7% field goal percentage. So I think they have to get the turnovers down to keep their scoring up as their shooting percentage moves closer toward where it's normally going to be. And then it also say fouls. They seem to be a little undisciplined at times, so you'd like to clean that up. They only let Akron in the bonus they never let Akron get to a bonus, but I think they were 1 away in 3 of the 4 quarters. So I'd like to see that fixed. But, I mean, they're obviously not going to play a perfect game. So, okay, it wasn't perfect. They win by 39, so I think definitely still almost all positive signs as they head into their conference schedule.
Michigan, the final score here from the Chrysler Center in Ann Arbor as we're about to sign off. They win it 93-54, and Kim Barnes' Rico squad will head to Madison, Wisconsin to face off with the Wisconsin Badgers this coming Thursday. From Zach Linfield here, alongside my broadcast partner Zach Linder, thank you for tuning in. Good night, everybody, and go Blue.